2020 will be remembered as a time of a very divisive U.S. election. Mm-hmm. We also have had seemingly intractable divisions in the church. How do we embrace differences and dissent as being as important as shared understandings and agreements?
Specifically as leaders, we've been nurtured in convergent cultures where our goal is to build consensus and to move everyone in a direction all on the same page. But that's just not the world we have now. That's not the world we're ministering in. It's not the generation that's coming through. It is divergent, and it is divergent in this sense. Even in a room full of people who see the world the same way, when you ask them how they see the world, it's all painted with different colors. And so now, even with people who see the world the same way, we have different goals, we have different desires, we have different grievances, and that all needs leadership. But you don't lead divergent cultures the way you lead convergent cultures. You have to find a way to move groups together in coalition, as opposed to coherence may be a good word there. But coalition, I think, is the leadership edge that we have to learn to live in and to lead in. And I see this as for pastors as well as I see it for political leaders. Gone are the days where everybody's going to be in agreement. So if we are making decisions based on everybody being in agreement, we're not going to get there. It's going to take forever. But if we can create enough space and create a big enough vision that allows people with differing perspectives and views to be at the table and to be a part of the direction. And we've got to learn how to lead in this. But if we could do that, I think, particularly in the church, I think we create something beautiful. I think we create something where our values are not necessarily based on agreement of specific points of theology, agreement of specific points of philosophy and political theory, but agreement around things like Jesus and agreement around the table being open, an agreement around the belief that Jesus wants to transform the world and he wants to do it through the church. And we're a part of that. And I know that there are people that will say that in order to do that, we must be on the same page theologically or politically. And I'm just going to say to you, I hear you. I just don't think that's the world we have. I don't think that's the church we have. We may have had it, but that's not the world we have now. And so our job as leaders is to learn how to lead in the world that we have and not keep hoping to get the old world back, which probably didn't exist, actually. It probably only existed in the sense that it silenced all of the divergent voices. But now in the age of social media, in an age where people can build a movement from their iPhone, we're gone are the days where we can count on a convergent culture.
But it begs the question about the unity of the church. On what do we base any sense of unity within the church?
I think we've got to base it on shared ministry. I think we've got to base it on super essentials. And so for me, that unity looks like gathering around the table of communion and believing that we've all been invited to the table, that we are in ministry together, ministry with Christ, and in ministry to all the world. Because of what God has done in Jesus, that has been given to us as a gift of the table. I see a lot of unity around the table. And I mourn that that's not enough for people, but I guess my personal sacramental theology is strong enough where I'm like, man, like when I think about the Last Supper, Jesus and the disciples, we are not talking about a group of people who all saw the world the same way. We're not talking about people who engaged ministry the same way. We're not even talking about people who talked to Jesus the same way. Like, we are talking about this diverse group of men and probably women at the same table receiving the broken body and shed blood of Christ. That's what brings them together. It's Jesus and what Jesus has done that brings them together. It's not their shared understanding of Jesus. It is not a shared theological construct. It really is that they've been invited to the table. Peter is sitting next to John, and Judas is sitting next to Simon, and that these are, in my opinion, the things we can agree upon and unify around. I do at times wonder, being a layperson, is there something I'm missing when I say, hey, the table is enough for us to be unified? And some elder says that's not enough. It's like, well, maybe I'm missing something, but I'm holding out hope that there's a group of people that can gather around the table of the Lord, come and receive what only Jesus can give us, and leave to be on mission for the sake of Jesus and his love experienced in the world. That's enough for me.
Amen. Amen.